Welcome back, travelers, to the realm where night eternal reigns. In our previous journey through the lore of Elden Ring Nightreign, we explored the cosmic fractures that birth this parallel reality, witnessed the Night Lord's reality warping influence, and understood the sacred 3-day hunt structure that defines the Nightfarers' mission. Each of these 8 champions brings unique abilities, distinct fighting styles, and specialized roles that contribute to their collective mission. From the adaptable Night Wylder to the mystical summoner Revenant, each Nightfarer represents a different approach to confronting cosmic-level threats. Tonight we turn our attention to the 8 champions who stand against the endless darkness. These are the Nightfarers' warriors, specifically chosen to pursue the shadowy Night Lords and bring an end to the reign of eternal night. Tonight we will explore each of these 8 champions in detail. We will examine their confirmed abilities, understand their starting equipment, discover their roles within team compositions, and learn how their individual strengths combine to create powerful synergies when they unite against the forces of eternal night. Unlike the broad character customization of the original Elden Ring, Nightreign offers 8 predefined heroes, each with clear strengths and weaknesses. While any Nightfarer can wield any weapon found in Limveld, each begins with specific equipment and possesses unique passive abilities, character skills, and ultimate arts that cannot be shared with others. We know that these champions were chosen by a blonde maiden whose purpose is clear: to repel the night's tide and defeat the Night Lord. They are warriors of the Round Table Hold, who call upon the power of spectral birds to defend the land of Limveld. Their ultimate goal is to enter the petrified tree at the end of the 3rd night and confront the Night Lord directly. These are not merely gameplay mechanics, but expressions of deeper truths about cooperation, specialization, and the power that emerges when diverse abilities work in harmony toward a common goal. From Wylder's claw-shot mobility to Guardian's protective wings, from Duchess's evasive artistry to Recluse's elemental mastery, from Ironi's precision archery to Raider's devastating strength, from Executor's cursed blade techniques to Revenant's spirit summoning, each Nightfarer offers unique capabilities that serve the greater mission. We will also explore the confirmed team synergies that make cooperation essential for success. The way Irony can use Raider's summoned tombstone as a sniper platform, how Recluse can mark enemies to allow teammates to replenish health and focus points when dealing damage, the combinations and interactions that transform 8 individual fighters into something far more formidable. So settle in, close your eyes if you wish, and let us explore in detail the 8 champions chosen to oppose eternal night. Let us discover what makes each Nightfarer unique, how their abilities serve the greater mission, and why their individual stories matter in the struggle against cosmic horror. Our detailed journey begins with the nomadic warrior who has become the face of Nightreign itself, Wylder, the relentless pursuer whose balanced abilities make him both reliable and adaptable in the ever-changing landscape of Limveld. Wylder, the balanced warrior. Among the 8 Nightfarers, Wylder stands as the quintessential jack-of-all-trades character. He has become the recognizable face of Elden Ring Nightreign, appearing prominently in promotional materials with his distinctive winged helmet that has become iconic to the game's visual identity. Wylder represents the balanced approach to combat in Nightreign. He possesses a good mix of health, stamina, damage reduction from his armor, and physical damage output. This well-rounded nature makes him reliable in a wide variety of situations, though he is notably ill-suited for magic use, focusing instead on physical prowess and tactical adaptability. At the start of each expedition into Limvold, Wylder spawns equipped with a small shield and a greatsword. This combination reflects his balanced combat philosophy. The shield provides defensive capability when caution is required, while the greatsword offers the reach and power necessary for aggressive engagement. Unlike some Nightfarers who specialize in specific combat ranges or tactics, Wylder's equipment allows him to adapt to both defensive and offensive situations as they develop. Wylder's signature ability is the Claw Shot, a versatile skill that exemplifies his adaptable nature. This ability serves multiple crucial functions during expeditions through Limvold's dangerous terrain. The Claw Shot can be used for quick bursts of mobility, allowing Wylder to rapidly scale high ground or escape from dangerous situations. This mobility becomes particularly valuable when dealing with the Night's Tide, the slowly restricting zone that limits playable space as nighttime approaches. The Claw Shot's functionality extends beyond simple movement. Depending on the size and nature of targets, Wylder can use this ability to either pull enemies toward himself or pull himself toward enemies. When facing smaller opponents, the Claw Shot can drag them into optimal range for his greatsword attacks. Against larger foes, he can use the ability to quickly close distance, bypassing defensive measures or avoiding area of effect attacks that might be devastating at longer ranges. This tactical versatility makes Wylder particularly valuable in team contexts. His ability to rapidly reposition himself allows him to respond to developing battlefield situations, providing support where needed, or creating opportunities for his teammates to exploit. The Claw Shot can also be used to rescue isolated team members or to set up coordinated attacks that leverage multiple Nightfarers' abilities. Wylder's passive ability, Sixth Sense, provides him with a crucial survival advantage that makes him one of the more forgiving Nightfarers for those learning to navigate Limvold's dangers. This ability allows him to cheat death once per expedition, giving him a second chance when facing overwhelming odds or unexpected threats. The once per expedition limitation ensures that this revival ability remains strategically meaningful rather than making Wylder effectively invulnerable. Players must decide when to take risks that might trigger the Sixth Sense, saving this crucial ability for moments when revival could make the difference between mission success and total failure. This death-cheating ability reflects Wylder's role as a reliable anchor for team compositions. New players can rely on his survivability while learning the complex mechanics of cooperative play against cosmic-level threats. Experienced players can use his resilience to take calculated risks that might be too dangerous for other Nightfarers. Within team dynamics, Wylder serves as both a stable foundation and a flexible adapter. His balanced capabilities mean he can fill multiple roles as needed, engaging in direct combat, providing mobile support, or adapting his tactics to complement his teammates' specialized approaches. When Guardian focuses on protection and defensive positioning, Wylder can adapt to provide mobile offense. When Irony needs to maintain specific positioning for optimal ranged attacks, Wylder can use his Claw Shot to manipulate enemy positions or create tactical advantages. When Duchess executes her evasive maneuvers, Wylder can provide reliable pressure that forces enemies into predictable patterns. The claw shot ability creates unique opportunities for team coordination beyond simple positioning. Wylder can use it to assist teammates in various situations, pulling allies out of danger, repositioning enemies for optimal team attacks, or creating tactical setups that wouldn't be possible with conventional movement abilities. His balanced stat distribution and reliable equipment make Wylder an excellent choice for players who want to contribute meaningfully to team efforts without needing to master highly specialized mechanics. While other Nightfarers might require deep understanding of complex systems or precise timing, Wylder's straightforward approach allows players to focus on team coordination and tactical decision-making. Wylder's role as the poster character for Nightreign reflects his function as the representative Nightfarer, the one who embodies the general principles that all champions share while maintaining enough versatility to work effectively with any team composition. His balanced nature ensures that he never becomes a liability in any particular situation, though he may not excel in any single area as dramatically as his more specialized companions. The greatsword that Wylder wields provides him with reliable reach and damage output that scales well throughout expeditions. As he finds better weapons during exploration of Limvold, his balanced stats ensure that he can effectively utilize a wide variety of armaments without being locked into specific weapon types by attribute requirements. His small shield, while not as comprehensive as Guardian's protective equipment, provides enough defensive capability to absorb attacks when necessary. This defensive option, combined with his mobility from claw shot and his revival from Sixth Sense, gives Wylder multiple layers of survivability that work together to keep him effective throughout long expeditions. The wing helmet that has become Wylder's iconic visual element serves practical purposes beyond its symbolic appeal. The distinctive design makes him easily recognizable on the battlefield, helping teammates coordinate their actions and identify his position during chaotic encounters with Limvold's dangers. Wylder's balanced approach to combat makes him particularly effective against the varied threats found throughout Limvold. Unlike highly specialized Nightfarers who might struggle against certain enemy types, Wylder's versatility ensures that he can contribute meaningfully to encounters regardless of the specific challenges presented. His reliability extends to resource management as well. Wylder's abilities have reasonable cooldowns and resource costs that allow for sustainable use throughout extended expeditions. The claw shot can be used frequently for positioning and tactical advantage, while Sixth Sense provides emergency protection without requiring active resource expenditure. In the context of Nightreign's 3-day hunt structure, Wylder's consistent performance across all phases makes him valuable for maintaining team stability. During the preparation and exploration of the first day, his mobility helps with efficient navigation and resource gathering. On the second day, when commanders emerge to test the Nightfarers, his balanced combat capabilities and revival ability provide crucial reliability. When facing the Night Lord on the third day, his adaptability allows him to respond to whatever challenges the ultimate confrontation presents. Wylder represents the principle that effectiveness in opposing cosmic horror does not always require exotic abilities or supernatural specialization. Sometimes, reliable competence across multiple areas, combined with the flexibility to adapt to changing circumstances, provides the foundation that allows more specialized team members to achieve their full potential. Through Wylder, we see that heroism can emerge from dedication to balance, reliability, and the willingness to fill whatever role the situation demands. His continued presence on every expedition into Limvold serves as proof that steady determination and adaptable skill remain valuable even when facing threats that transcend normal understanding. Guardian, the defensive anchor. Guardian stands as the defensive specialist among the 8 Nightfarers, serving as the team's primary tank and protector. This Birdman warrior embodies the principle of defensive mastery, focusing on absorbing damage and creating protective spaces for his allies, rather than pursuing aggressive offense. Guardian's most distinctive feature is his avian nature, which sets him apart from the more human-appearing Nightfarers. This Birdman physiology provides him with unique capabilities that extend beyond simple visual distinction. His avian characteristics contribute directly to his role as a protector, offering both tactical advantages and symbolic representation of his function within the team. At the start of each expedition, Guardian begins equipped with a shield and halberd, a combination that perfectly reflects his defensive combat philosophy. The shield serves as his primary tool for absorbing enemy attacks, while the halberd provides the reach necessary to engage threats while maintaining protective positioning. This weapon combination allows Guardian to fulfill his protective role without sacrificing all offensive capability. The halberd is particularly well suited to Guardian's role as a defensive anchor. Unlike purely offensive weapons, the halberd combines multiple functions in a single armament. It can thrust like a spear to engage enemies at range, chop like an axe for more powerful attacks, and provides the reach necessary to strike threats before they can close to dangerous ranges. This versatility allows Guardian to remain in protective formations while still contributing meaningfully to combat encounters. Guardian's passive ability enhances his blocking capabilities significantly, making him exceptionally effective at absorbing attacks that might devastate other Nightfarers. This enhanced blocking goes beyond simple damage reduction, transforming Guardian into a reliable defensive anchor around which team tactics can be organized. The improved blocking ability allows Guardian to withstand sustained enemy assault while protecting more vulnerable team members. When other Nightfarers know they can rely on Guardian's defensive capabilities, they can pursue more aggressive tactics or focus on specialized roles without constantly worrying about their own survival. This defensive reliability becomes crucial when facing the overwhelming forces that threaten Limveld. Guardian's enhanced blocking also provides psychological benefits for the team. The knowledge that Guardian can reliably absorb enemy attacks creates a foundation of security that enables other team members to take calculated risks and fully commit to their specialized functions. Guardian's ultimate ability, Wings of Salvation, represents the pinnacle of his protective capabilities. This powerful technique allows Guardian to leap into the air and create a protective area upon landing, providing multiple crucial benefits that can turn the tide of difficult encounters. The protective area created by Wings of Salvation serves as a temporary sanctuary in Limveld's increasingly hostile environment. This safe zone provides respite from enemy attacks and environmental threats, creating space for the team to regroup, heal, and plan their next actions. Most importantly, Wings of Salvation can revive downed allies within its area of effect. This revival capability transforms Guardian from a purely defensive character into a source of hope and renewal for the entire team. When other Nightfarers fall to overwhelming opposition, Guardian's ultimate ability can literally bring them back from defeat, turning potential disasters into recoverable situations. The aerial component of Wings of Salvation provides Guardian with tactical advantages beyond the protective area it creates. The leap into the air allows him to survey the battlefield from an elevated perspective, potentially identifying threats or opportunities that might not be visible from ground level. This elevated positioning also allows Guardian to deploy his protective area in optimal locations for maximum team benefit. The name Wings of Salvation reflects the ability's function as both rescue and protection. The wings component acknowledges Guardian's avian nature while emphasizing the transcendent aspect of the ability, rising above immediate dangers to provide aid from above. The salvation aspect emphasizes the rescue function, particularly the ability to revive fallen allies. Within team compositions, Guardian serves as more than just a damage absorber. His defensive capabilities create opportunities for other Nightfarers to operate more effectively by reducing the defensive considerations they must incorporate into their own tactics. When Guardian establishes defensive positioning, Irony can focus entirely on precision archery without worrying about close-range threats. Duchess can execute her evasive maneuvers with confidence, knowing that Guardian provides a safe fallback position. Recluse can concentrate on her complex magical combinations without constantly monitoring for incoming attacks. Guardian's Wings of Salvation provides crucial team support beyond simple revival. The protective area creates opportunities for coordinated attacks, allowing the team to regroup and execute planned assaults from a position of safety. This coordination capability often proves decisive in encounters with powerful enemies or overwhelming numbers. The revival aspect of Wings of Salvation makes Guardian particularly valuable in high-risk situations. Teams can attempt more aggressive tactics, knowing that Guardian's ultimate ability provides insurance against catastrophic failure. This psychological effect enables more dynamic and effective approaches to challenging encounters. Guardian's defensive focus makes him particularly effective against sustained enemy pressure. While other Nightfarers might struggle with prolonged combat encounters, Guardian's enhanced blocking and protective capabilities allow him to maintain effectiveness throughout extended battles. This endurance becomes crucial during the longer encounters that characterize Nightreign's boss battles. His role as the team's primary tank requires Guardian to maintain positioning that maximizes his protective value while still allowing him to contribute to offensive efforts. The halberd's reach helps accomplish this balance, allowing Guardian to strike at enemies while maintaining formations that protect his more vulnerable allies. Guardian's avian nature provides additional tactical flexibility through enhanced mobility options. While the specific details of his flight capabilities are not fully detailed, his Birdman physiology suggests movement options that purely ground-bound fighters cannot match. This enhanced mobility allows Guardian to rapidly reposition for optimal protection or to reach isolated allies who need assistance. The combination of defensive specialization and mobility makes Guardian particularly effective at rescue operations. When team members become separated or overwhelmed, Guardian can use his enhanced movement to reach them quickly, then deploy his protective capabilities to create opportunities for extraction or counterattack. Guardian's equipment and abilities scale well throughout expeditions as better gear becomes available. His defensive focus means that improvements to armor and shields provide immediate and noticeable benefits to his protective capabilities. Similarly, better halberds enhance his offensive contribution without compromising his primary defensive role. The reliability of Guardian's defensive capabilities makes him an excellent choice for players who prefer supportive roles or who want to focus on team coordination rather than individual combat performance. His straightforward approach to defense allows players to concentrate on positioning, timing, and team support without needing to master complex offensive mechanics. In the context of Nightreign's 3-day structure, Guardian's consistent defensive value provides stability across all phases of each expedition. During exploration and preparation phases, his protection allows for safer resource gathering and more thorough investigation of dangerous areas. When facing commanders and bosses, his defensive abilities and revival capability often determine whether encounters result in victory or defeat. Guardian's role extends beyond mechanical game functions to represent important principles about cooperation and mutual support when facing overwhelming threats. His dedication to protection rather than personal achievement demonstrates that individual success means nothing without team survival and mission completion. The Wings of Salvation ability embodies hope in the face of apparent defeat. When situations seem hopeless and team members begin to fall, Guardian's ultimate ability proves that recovery remains possible as long as someone maintains the commitment to protection and mutual aid. Through Guardian, we see that strength can be measured not just in damage dealt or enemies defeated, but in allies protected and disasters averted. His presence among the Nightfarers serves as a constant reminder that some challenges are too great for individual effort and require the security that comes from reliable mutual support. Guardian continues to stand watch over his companions, shield raised and wings ready, embodying the principle that true strength sometimes lies in the willingness to serve as a foundation for others' achievements rather than seeking individual glory. Duchess, the evasive striker. Duchess represents the rogue archetype among the 8 Nightfarers, specializing in speed, evasion, and high burst damage. She embodies the principle that sometimes the best defense is not being where your enemies expect you to be, combining exceptional mobility with the ability to deliver devastating attacks when opportunities arise. Among all the Nightfarers, Duchess possesses the fastest movement speed, allowing her to outmaneuver both enemies and allies across Limwild's dangerous terrain. This enhanced mobility serves both offensive and defensive purposes, enabling her to strike quickly at vulnerable targets and escape before effective retaliation becomes possible. Duchess's combat philosophy centers on positioning, timing, and the precise execution of carefully planned attacks rather than sustained combat or direct confrontation. Her approach requires careful observation of enemy patterns and battlefield conditions, striking at moments of maximum vulnerability while avoiding prolonged engagements that might favor more heavily armored opponents. Duchess's passive ability, Magnificent Pose, provides her with enhanced combat efficiency that reduces the stamina costs of both offensive and defensive actions. This ability allows her to attack and dodge optimally, significantly reducing the stamina reduction from attacks and evasive maneuvers. The reduced stamina consumption enables Duchess to maintain her high-intensity combat style for extended periods without becoming exhausted. Most importantly, Magnificent Pose allows Duchess to perform up to 2 consecutive evasive actions. This double dodge capability provides her with escape options that no other Nightfarer possesses. When single dodges prove insufficient against particularly dangerous attacks, or when facing multiple threats simultaneously, Duchess can chain evasive maneuvers together to create complex movement patterns that make her exceptionally difficult to pin down or predict. The consecutive dodging ability becomes particularly valuable when facing enemies with wide area attacks, or when operating in confined spaces where single evasive maneuvers might not provide sufficient distance from threats. This enhanced evasion capability allows Duchess to operate in dangerous situations that would be prohibitively risky for other Nightfarers. The stamina efficiency provided by Magnificent Pose also supports Duchess's role as a hit-and-run specialist. By reducing the resource costs of her primary combat actions, she can execute more attacks and evasive maneuvers within the same time frame, increasing her overall damage output while maintaining her survivability advantages. Duchess's character skill, Restage, allows her to stage reprisals of recent occurrences to damage nearby foes, with a crucial property that damage dealt to these phantoms affects the original targets. This ability can be activated at any time, providing tactical flexibility that allows Duchess to respond to developing battlefield conditions. The phantom-based nature of Restage creates a multiplication effect for successful attacks. When Duchess or her allies execute effective strikes against enemies, she can use Restage to create phantoms that repeat these attacks, potentially doubling or tripling the damage dealt. This multiplication capability allows Duchess to achieve high burst damage despite not being primarily focused on raw offensive power. The ability to affect original targets through phantom damage suggests that Restage operates according to principles that connect the phantom attacks to their sources. These phantoms are not mere visual effects, but genuine expressions of combat actions that maintain meaningful connections to the original strikes. Restage provides unique tactical opportunities in team contexts. Duchess can amplify powerful attacks performed by other Nightfarers, multiplying the effectiveness of their specialized abilities. When Wylder executes a particularly effective sword combination, when Guardian delivers a devastating halberd strike, or when Raider lands a crushing blow, Duchess can use Restage to compound their impact through phantom repetition. The timing flexibility of Restage allows Duchess to choose optimal moments for activation. She can wait for enemies to cluster together before deploying phantoms to maximize area damage, or she can use the ability immediately to ensure that particularly powerful attacks achieve maximum effect before enemies can recover or reposition. Duchess's ultimate ability, Finale, obscures both herself and surrounding allies, causing enemies to lose track of their targets and become confused about the Nightfarers' locations. Affected enemies wander aimlessly or become prone to leaving themselves vulnerable to attack, creating opportunities for devastating coordinated strikes. The group invisibility effect provided by Finale makes it one of the most powerful tactical abilities available to the Nightfarers. Unlike simple personal stealth, Finale affects the entire team, creating opportunities for complete tactical resets when situations become overwhelming or when coordinated attacks require specific positioning. The enemy confusion caused by Finale goes beyond simple loss of visual contact. Affected enemies exhibit behavioral changes that suggest cognitive disruption rather than mere optical concealment. This psychological effect creates windows of vulnerability that extend beyond the duration of the invisibility itself, as enemies require time to reacquire targets and resume effective combat behavior. Finale serves multiple crucial functions in team tactics. It provides emergency escape when the team becomes overwhelmed by superior numbers or unexpected threats. It creates setup opportunities for coordinated ambushes, allowing the invisible team to position themselves for optimal synchronized attacks. It also serves as a reset mechanism, breaking enemy momentum and creating space for the team to reassess and adapt their tactics. The group nature of Finale makes Duchess particularly valuable for team rescue operations. When allies become isolated or surrounded, Duchess can activate Finale to break enemy lock-on effects and create opportunities for extraction or counterattack. This rescue capability often proves decisive in preventing individual setbacks from escalating into team-wide disasters. Within team compositions, Duchess serves as both a high-damage striker and a tactical manipulator. Her speed and evasiveness allow her to engage priority targets that might be too dangerous for other team members to approach safely. Her ability to deliver burst damage through direct attacks and restage amplification makes her effective against both individual powerful enemies and groups of weaker foes. Duchess's role as the team's primary mobility specialist provides important tactical flexibility when direct confrontation proves inadvisable or when specific positioning requirements must be met. Duchess can demonstrate alternative approaches based on movement, timing, and precise execution rather than sustained combat or overwhelming force. The restage ability creates synergies with every other Nightfarer, as Duchess can amplify any successful attack, regardless of its source or nature. This universal compatibility makes her valuable in any team composition, though she particularly excels when paired with Nightfarers who can deliver powerful individual strikes that benefit from multiplication. Duchess's finale ability provides crucial support for team coordination, especially when executing complex multi-phase tactics that require precise positioning and timing. The invisibility effect allows teams to reposition without enemy interference, setting up combinations that would be impossible under normal combat conditions. The burst damage focus of Duchess's abilities makes her particularly effective against enemies with specific vulnerability windows, or against targets that must be eliminated quickly before they can execute dangerous abilities. Her capacity to deliver concentrated damage in short time frames often determines the success or failure of encounters with priority targets. Duchess's enhanced movement speed provides utility beyond combat applications. During exploration phases, her mobility allows for more efficient navigation of Limvold's terrain and faster investigation of potential resource locations. Her speed also proves valuable when teams need to relocate quickly in response to the advancing Night's Tide. The evasive capabilities provided by Magnificent Pose make Duchess one of the most survivable Nightfarers, despite her focus on offense rather than defense. Her ability to avoid damage through superior positioning and timing often proves more effective than attempting to absorb attacks through armor or shields. Duchess's abilities scale well with improved equipment and team coordination. Better weapons increase the base damage that restage can multiply, while improved team communication allows for more effective use of Finale's tactical advantages. Her effectiveness tends to improve dramatically as teams develop better coordination and understanding of optimal timing for her abilities. The complexity of Duchess's optimal play patterns makes her one of the more challenging Nightfarers to master fully. Her abilities require precise timing, careful positioning, and thorough understanding of enemy behavior patterns. However, this complexity is rewarded with exceptional effectiveness when her capabilities are properly utilized. In the context of Nightreign's 3-day structure, Duchess's burst damage and tactical manipulation abilities prove valuable across all phases of each expedition. During exploration, her mobility speeds progress, and her damage helps clear obstacles efficiently against commanders and the Night Lord. Her ability to deliver concentrated damage and provide tactical resets often determines encounter outcomes. Duchess represents the principle that overwhelming force is not the only path to victory against superior opponents. Through superior positioning, precise timing, and the ability to multiply effective actions, smaller forces can achieve results that exceed their apparent capabilities. Her focus on evasion and burst damage demonstrates that survival and effectiveness against cosmic-level threats can be achieved through mobility and precision rather than raw endurance or defensive specialization. Duchess proves that speed and intelligence can be just as valuable as strength and armor. Through Duchess, we see that tactical flexibility and the ability to adapt quickly to changing circumstances provide crucial advantages when facing unpredictable threats. Her continued effectiveness across varied encounter types shows that versatility in execution can be as important as specialization in function. Recluse, the Elemental Witch. Recluse serves as Nightreign's resident spellcaster, representing the magical approach to confronting the cosmic threats that plague Limveld. As the dedicated mage among the 8 Nightfarers, she possesses the most complex ability system, requiring deep understanding of elemental interactions and careful resource management to achieve maximum effectiveness. Recluse begins each expedition with the highest focus points among all Nightfarers, reflecting her role as the primary magical damage dealer. However, this magical specialization comes with significant trade-offs. As she possesses the lowest health pool of all the champions, making her considerably more fragile than her companions. This glass cannon design requires careful positioning and team protection to maintain effectiveness throughout encounters. At the start of each expedition, Recluse spawns equipped with a staff, establishing her immediately as a ranged magical combatant. The staff serves as her primary tool for channeling elemental magic and executing the complex combinations that define her combat approach. Unlike other Nightfarers, who can easily transition between different weapon types, Recluse's effectiveness remains closely tied to her magical focus and staff-based combat. Recluse's passive ability, Elemental Defense, allows her to discover affinity residues that can be collected to replenish focus points. This resource recovery system is crucial to her sustained effectiveness, as her magical abilities consume significant amounts of FP during prolonged encounters. The ability to regain magical resources through combat actions allows Recluse to maintain her offensive output without requiring constant external support for resource management. The affinity residue system works in conjunction with Recluse's active abilities, creating a complex resource loop that rewards skillful play with sustained magical power. When Recluse hits enemies with her magic, elemental affinity residues are applied to the targets. These residues can then be collected to restore focus points, ensuring that successful magical attacks contribute to her ability to continue casting. This passive ability transforms Recluse's resource management from simple expenditure to active recovery, requiring her to maintain aggressive engagement with enemies to sustain her magical capabilities. The system encourages consistent magical attacks rather than conservative resource management, supporting her role as a primary damage dealer. Recluse's character skill, Magic Cocktail, represents one of the most sophisticated ability systems among all the Nightfarers. This skill allows her to collect affinity residues from targets and combine them to create powerful elemental spells whose effects are determined by the specific combination of collected elements. The Magic Cocktail system requires Recluse to collect 3 affinity residues before activation, creating a resource accumulation requirement that adds strategic depth to her combat approach. The effects of the resulting spell depend entirely on which elemental residues have been collected. Fire residues create fire-based effects, lightning residues produce electrical attacks, and other elemental types contribute their own characteristics to the final spell. This elemental combination system allows for significant tactical flexibility, as different residue combinations produce different magical effects suited to various combat situations. Recluse can adapt her magical approach based on available residues and current tactical requirements, making her effective against diverse enemy types and encounter conditions. The targeting and collection aspects of Magic Cocktail require Recluse to engage actively with multiple enemies to gather the necessary residues for powerful combinations. This active engagement requirement ensures that her most powerful abilities are earned through skillful combat rather than passive resource accumulation. The variety of possible elemental combinations means that mastering Recluse requires understanding not just individual spell effects, but the optimal combinations for different situations. Different enemy types may be more vulnerable to specific elemental approaches, and battlefield conditions may favor certain combinations over others. Recluse's ultimate ability, Soul Blood Song, unleashes a forbidden blood chant that brands nearby enemies with blood sigils. These sigils create ongoing effects that benefit the entire team, as allies gain health and focus points when dealing damage to branded enemies. This support capability transforms Recluse from a purely offensive caster into a crucial team support specialist. The area of effect nature of Soul Blood Song allows Recluse to affect multiple enemies simultaneously, creating sustained benefits for the entire team throughout extended encounters. The blood sigil effects persist on affected enemies, providing ongoing resource recovery opportunities that can sustain the team through prolonged battles. The health and focus point recovery provided by Soul Blood Song benefits all team members regardless of their individual specializations or resource needs. This universal support makes the ability valuable in any team composition, though it proves particularly beneficial when paired with high damage dealers who can trigger the recovery effects frequently. The forbidden nature referenced in the ability name suggests that Soul Blood Song draws upon dangerous or morally questionable magical practices. This dark magical theme fits with Recluse's role as someone who embraces magical approaches that others might consider too risky or ethically problematic. The blood chant component indicates that Soul Blood Song requires active casting and vocal components, potentially making Recluse vulnerable during activation. This vulnerability requirement ensures that the powerful team support effects come with appropriate risk and timing considerations. Within team compositions, Recluse serves as both primary magical damage dealer and crucial resource support specialist. Her elemental magic provides damage types that may be more effective against certain enemies than purely physical attacks, while her Soul Blood Song ultimate ensures that the entire team can sustain their capabilities throughout extended encounters. Recluse's complex ability system creates synergies with every other Nightfarer, though these interactions require careful coordination to achieve maximum benefit. Her magic cocktail combinations can target enemies that other team members have engaged, while her Soul Blood Song sigils provide resource recovery for allies who deal damage to marked targets. The positioning requirements for Recluse's optimal effectiveness make her particularly dependent on Guardian's protective capabilities. Her low health pool and ranged focus require reliable protection from close-range threats, making Guardian's defensive abilities crucial for her survival and effectiveness. Recluse's elemental diversity allows her to exploit enemy weaknesses that might not be accessible to purely physical damage dealers. Different encounter types may favor different elemental approaches, making her adaptability valuable across the varied threats found throughout Limvold. The resource recovery aspects of both her passive ability and ultimate provide crucial team sustainability, especially during the longer encounters characteristic of boss battles. Her ability to help maintain team resources often determines whether extended encounters result in victory or resource exhaustion. Recluse's magical focus makes her particularly effective against enemies that resist physical damage or possess heavy armor that reduces the effectiveness of conventional attacks. Her elemental magic often bypasses defensive measures that might significantly reduce the impact of weapon-based assaults. The complexity of Recluse's elemental system requires significant practice to master fully. Players must learn optimal residue combinations, understand enemy vulnerabilities to different elemental types, and develop timing skills for resource collection and ability activation. This learning curve makes Recluse one of the more challenging Nightfarers for new players. However, the effectiveness potential of properly executed elemental combinations and team support makes Recluse extremely powerful in the hands of experienced players. Her damage output can exceed that of other Nightfarers when optimal combinations are achieved, while her team support capabilities provide benefits that multiply the effectiveness of the entire group. Recluse's equipment scaling focuses primarily on improving her magical capabilities through better staves and magical accessories. Her low health pool means that defensive improvements provide limited benefit compared to enhancements that increase her magical power or resource efficiency. The staff-based nature of her combat approach means that weapon variety affects her differently than other Nightfarers. While she can technically wield any weapon found in Limveld, her effectiveness remains optimized for magical implements that enhance her elemental capabilities and focus point efficiency. In the context of Nightreign's 3-day structure, Recluse's magical capabilities prove valuable across all phases of each expedition. During exploration, her ranged damage helps clear obstacles and threats efficiently. Her elemental diversity allows her to adapt to whatever enemy types are encountered during the procedurally generated encounters. Against commanders and the Night Lord, Recluse's ability to exploit elemental weaknesses and provide team resource support often determines encounter outcomes. Her magic cocktail combinations can deliver devastating damage when properly executed, while Soulblood Song ensures that the team can sustain their efforts throughout challenging boss battles. Recluse represents the principle that magical knowledge and elemental mastery provide unique advantages when confronting supernatural threats. Her complex ability system demonstrates that some challenges require sophisticated approaches rather than straightforward applications of force. The elemental focus of her abilities suggests that understanding and manipulating fundamental forces can be as effective as physical prowess when facing cosmic-level opposition. Her continued effectiveness proves that magical specialization remains valuable even against entities that operate beyond normal natural laws. Through Recluse, we see that complexity and specialization can provide power that exceeds more straightforward approaches, provided that the practitioner develops sufficient skill and understanding. Her role among the Nightfarers shows that intellectual mastery and magical knowledge represent valid and valuable approaches to heroism. Ionai, the precision archer. Ionai represents the range specialist among the 8 Nightfarers, focusing on precision archery and tactical support from distance. As the dedicated archer of the group, Ionai provides crucial capabilities that complement the close-range focus of other team members, while offering unique utility functions that prove essential for team success. Ionai begins each expedition equipped with a bow, immediately establishing their role as a long-range combatant. This ranged focus allows Ionai to engage enemies from positions of relative safety, while providing sustained damage output that supports the team's overall tactical approach. The bow serves as both primary weapon and symbol of Ionai's commitment to precision and careful targeting. The core stat for Ionai is dexterity, which enhances effectiveness with ranged weapons and supports a fast, agile playstyle. This dexterity focus ensures that Ionai can deliver accurate shots consistently while maintaining the mobility necessary to adjust positioning based on battlefield developments and enemy movements. Ionai's role within team compositions functions as a range DPS and support hybrid, capable of thinning enemy ranks from the backline while offering critical utility to teammates. This dual function makes Ionai valuable throughout all phases of encounters, from initial engagement through sustained combat to emergency support situations. The precision focus of Ionai's combat approach requires careful positioning and timing to achieve maximum effectiveness. Unlike melee-focused Nightfarers who can adapt to changing circumstances through direct engagement, Ionai must maintain optimal range and clear lines of sight to contribute effectively to team efforts. Ionai's passive ability allows them to find more valuable items from defeated enemies compared to other Nightfarers. This enhanced loot discovery capability provides practical benefits for the entire team, as better equipment and resources improve everyone's effectiveness throughout expeditions. The ability to locate superior gear consistently gives teams with Ionai significant advantages in equipment progression. This passive ability reflects Ionai's careful, observational nature, the same precision and attention to detail that makes them effective. Archers also allows them to notice valuable items that others might overlook. The enhanced loot discovery often provides access to equipment upgrades that significantly improve team capabilities. The practical impact of improved loot discovery extends throughout entire expeditions, as better equipment found early can compound its benefits across multiple encounters. Teams with Ionai tend to achieve superior gear progression compared to groups without access to enhanced item discovery. Ionai's character skill involves marking enemies to break their poise and expose their vulnerabilities. This marking ability serves multiple tactical functions, creating opportunities for the entire team to exploit enemy weaknesses, while demonstrating Ionai's role as a tactical coordinator who identifies and communicates priority targets. The poise-breaking aspect of the marking ability makes enemies more vulnerable to interruption and staggering, allowing other team members to land critical hits or execute powerful abilities that might otherwise be blocked or avoided. This vulnerability creation multiplies the effectiveness of the entire team's offensive capabilities. The vulnerability exposure created by marking allows all team members to deal increased damage to affected targets, transforming Ionai's individual targeting into team-wide damage amplification. This support function makes Ionai's contribution extend far beyond their personal damage output. The marking system requires Ionai to identify priority targets and communicate these choices effectively to the team through the visual marking effects. This tactical coordination role makes Ionai valuable for teams that want to focus their efforts efficiently rather than spreading damage across multiple targets. Ionai's ultimate ability, Single Shot, unleashes an unstoppable strike that tears through everything in its path, dealing massive damage to all enemies in a straight line. This devastating attack can eliminate multiple enemies simultaneously while dealing significant damage to larger threats that survive the initial impact. The penetrating nature of Single Shot makes it particularly effective against grouped enemies or when facing multiple threats arranged in linear formations. The ability can clear entire ranks of weaker enemies while simultaneously damaging more powerful foes positioned behind them. The unstoppable characteristic of Single Shot means that it cannot be blocked, dodged, or otherwise negated by enemy defensive measures. This guaranteed hit property makes the ability reliable for finishing weakened enemies or dealing crucial damage when other attacks might be unreliable. The massive damage potential of Single Shot often determines the outcome of encounters with powerful individual enemies or large groups of threats. The ability serves as both a tactical reset tool and a finishing move that can resolve dangerous situations decisively. One of Iron Eye's most distinctive capabilities is the ability to revive downed allies from a distance. This unique support function allows Iron Eye to restore fallen teammates without abandoning strategic positioning or exposing themselves to close-range dangers that caused the original defeats. The ranged revival capability provides crucial tactical flexibility for teams facing overwhelming opposition. When close-range fighters fall to powerful enemies, Iron Eye can restore them to action without requiring other team members to risk similar defeats in rescue attempts. This revival ability transforms Iron Eye from a purely damage-focused character into a lifeline for the entire team. The knowledge that Iron Eye can restore fallen allies from safety allows other team members to take calculated risks that might otherwise be prohibitively dangerous. The combination of ranged revival with precision archery makes Iron Eye exceptionally valuable for team sustainability. Teams can maintain aggressive tactics, knowing that casualties can be addressed without compromising overall positioning or tactical advantage. Within team compositions, Iron Eye provides essential range damage that complements the close-range focus of most other Nightfarers. This ranged capability allows teams to engage enemies before they close to melee range, often eliminating or weakening threats before they can execute their most dangerous attacks. Iron Eye's marking ability creates synergies with every other Nightfarer, as the vulnerability exposure benefits all damage dealers regardless of their specific approach or weapon type. This universal compatibility makes Iron Eye valuable in any team composition. The tactical coordination provided by enemy marking helps teams focus their efforts efficiently, particularly important when facing multiple threats or enemies with specific vulnerability windows. Iron Eye's target prioritization guides team efforts toward maximum effectiveness. Iron Eye's position as ranged support makes them particularly effective when paired with Guardian's protective capabilities. Guardian's defensive abilities can protect Iron Eye from enemies that manage to close range, while Iron Eye's range damage helps eliminate threats before they can overwhelm Guardian's defenses. The confirmed team synergy between Iron Eye and Raider demonstrates the tactical creativity possible with proper coordination. Iron Eye can climb up the giant tombstone summoned by Raider's ultimate ability and use it as an elevated sniper platform. This combination provides Iron Eye with superior positioning while showcasing how individual abilities can combine to create new tactical possibilities. This tombstone synergy exemplifies the type of creative tactical combinations that make team coordination essential for maximum effectiveness. The elevated position provides Iron Eye with improved lines of sight and protection from ground-based threats, while allowing Raider's ultimate to serve dual functions as both attack and tactical support. Iron Eye's ranged focus makes them particularly effective against enemies that possess dangerous close-range attacks or area effects that threaten melee-focused teammates. The ability to maintain damage output from safe distances often proves crucial when facing enemies that punish close engagement. The precision archery approach requires Iron Eye to develop skill in predicting enemy movements and timing shots to connect with moving targets. This skill requirement makes Iron Eye more challenging for players who prefer straightforward combat approaches, but rewards precise play with exceptional effectiveness. Iron Eye's equipment scaling focuses primarily on improving bow capabilities and ranged combat effectiveness. Better bows provide increased damage and potentially improved special effects, while accessories that enhance dexterity or archery-specific bonuses multiply Iron Eye's overall effectiveness. The ranged combat focus means that Iron Eye benefits differently from equipment upgrades compared to melee-focused Nightfarers. Improvements to armor provide limited benefit given their distance from direct combat, while enhancements to archery capabilities provide immediate and significant improvements to effectiveness. In the context of Nightreign's 3-day structure, Iron Eye's ranged capabilities prove valuable across all phases of each expedition. During exploration, their precision damage helps eliminate threats efficiently, while their enhanced loot discovery provides superior equipment progression for the entire team. Against commanders and the Night Lord, Iron Eye's ability to maintain damage output from safe positions often proves decisive. The marking ability helps teams focus their efforts against powerful enemies, while single shot can deliver crucial damage during critical moments of boss encounters. The range revival capability becomes particularly important during challenging encounters, where close-range fighters face significant danger. Iron Eye's ability to restore fallen allies without compromising positioning often determines whether difficult encounters result in victory or team defeat. Iron Eye represents the principle that precision and careful observation can be as effective as raw power when facing overwhelming threats. The Archer's approach demonstrates that maintaining optimal positioning and timing can multiply effectiveness beyond what direct confrontation might achieve. The support capabilities integrated with range damage show that individual effectiveness can be enhanced by providing benefits to the entire team. Iron Eye's marking, revival, and loot discovery abilities prove that true strength often lies in enabling others' success rather than pursuing purely personal achievement. Through Iron Eye, we see that distance and precision provide unique advantages when confronting cosmic-level threats. The Archer's continued effectiveness across varied encounter types demonstrates that careful observation and accurate targeting remain valuable regardless of the supernatural nature of the opposition faced. Raider, the unstoppable force. Raider represents the raw strength archetype among the 8 Nightfarers, focusing on devastating close combat attacks and the ability to withstand enemy assaults through sheer determination and physical resilience. As a barbarian-type character, Raider embodies the principle that sometimes the most direct approach to overwhelming opposition is to meet force with even greater force. Raider's combat philosophy centers on delivering devastating attacks while maintaining the capability to absorb punishment that would overwhelm less resilient fighters. This approach requires careful timing and positioning to maximize the impact of powerful abilities while minimizing exposure to sustained enemy assault. While Raider may not possess the comprehensive defensive capabilities of Guardian, he maintains sufficient resilience to stand on his own and serve as a secondary tank when tactical situations require additional frontline presence. This dual capability makes Raider valuable for teams that need flexible approaches to different encounter types. Raider's passive ability, Fighter's Resolve, provides him with immunity to being knocked down when using his character skill. This knockdown immunity ensures that Raider can execute his most powerful attacks without being interrupted by enemy attempts to disrupt his actions through staggering or displacement effects. Fighter's Resolve reflects Raider's unwavering determination and physical conditioning that allows him to maintain his footing even when facing overwhelming force. This stability becomes crucial when engaging powerful enemies whose attacks might otherwise interrupt critical ability activations. The knockdown immunity provided by Fighter's Resolve allows Raider to maintain offensive pressure even against enemies that specialize in disrupting their opponent's actions. This reliability makes Raider particularly effective against foes that rely on crowd control effects or displacement abilities to neutralize threats. The passive nature of this ability means that Raider gains its benefits automatically whenever he uses his character skill, requiring no additional resource expenditure or activation timing. This seamless integration allows Raider to focus on tactical positioning and target selection rather than managing defensive abilities. Raider's character skill, Retaliate, allows him to deliver a vigorous punch that can stagger even the largest enemies. This powerful melee attack serves both offensive and defensive purposes, dealing significant damage while potentially disrupting enemy actions through its staggering effect. The staggering capability of Retaliate makes it effective against enemies of all sizes, including massive foes that might otherwise be immune to interruption effects. This universal effectiveness ensures that Raider can contribute meaningfully to encounters, regardless of enemy type or size classifications. The punch-based nature of Retaliate emphasizes Raider's direct, physical approach to combat challenges. Rather than relying on weapons or complex techniques, Raider delivers devastating force through raw physical power and martial conditioning. The vigorous nature of the attack suggests that Retaliate requires significant physical commitment and energy expenditure, making timing and target selection crucial for optimal effectiveness. The ability likely has cooldown or resource requirements that prevent spamming while ensuring meaningful impact when properly used. The combination of Fighter's Resolve and Retaliate creates a powerful synergy where Raider can deliver his most devastating attack without fear of interruption. This reliability makes the combination particularly effective for breaking enemy formations or eliminating priority targets that require immediate attention. Raider's ultimate ability, Tombstone, summons a giant tombstone that serves multiple tactical functions. This massive stone monument deals damage upon summoning while creating new battlefield geometry that can be utilized by the entire team for tactical advantage. The giant tombstone created by Tombstone functions as more than simple environmental decoration. It serves as a platform that can be climbed and utilized for positioning advantages, most notably demonstrated through the confirmed synergy with Ironie, who can use the tombstone as an elevated sniper platform. The damage-dealing aspect of Tombstone makes it effective as both an offensive ability and a tactical tool. Enemies caught in the summoning area take significant damage, while the resulting structure provides ongoing tactical benefits for team positioning and coordination. The tombstone's size and permanence create lasting changes to battlefield geography that persist throughout encounters. This environmental modification capability allows Raider to influence tactical flow by creating cover, elevation, or choke points that favor team tactics. The name Tombstone suggests cultural or spiritual significance beyond its immediate tactical applications. Totems traditionally represent spiritual connections or ancestral power, while stelae historically served as monuments or markers of important locations or events. The confirmed synergy between Raider's Tombstone and Ironie's archery capabilities demonstrates the type of creative tactical combinations that emerge from proper team coordination. Ironie can climb the summoned tombstone to gain elevated positioning that improves archery effectiveness while providing protection from ground-based threats. This tombstone archer synergy exemplifies how individual ultimate abilities can serve dual functions, providing immediate combat benefits while creating new tactical possibilities for team coordination. The combination transforms both Nightfarers' effectiveness beyond what either could achieve independently. The platform functionality of the tombstone suggests that other team members might also benefit from the elevation and positioning advantages it provides, though the irony synergy represents the most clearly documented tactical application. Within team compositions, Raider serves as a primary damage dealer who can also provide secondary tank capabilities when situations require additional frontline presence. His ability to deliver devastating individual attacks makes him particularly effective against powerful single targets that require focused damage application. Raider's immunity to knockdown effects makes him reliable for maintaining pressure against enemies that specialize in crowd control or displacement abilities. This reliability allows other team members to focus on their specialized roles without worrying about Raider being neutralized by enemy disruption effects. The environmental modification capability provided by Totem Stellar creates unique tactical opportunities that benefit the entire team. The ability to alter battlefield geography provides advantages that extend beyond immediate damage dealing to ongoing strategic benefits. Raider's combination of high damage output and reasonable survivability makes him effective across a wide range of encounter types. He can serve as a primary damage dealer against groups of weaker enemies, or focus his efforts on eliminating specific priority targets in more complex encounters. The direct physical nature of Raider's abilities makes him relatively straightforward to understand and utilize effectively. Players who prefer uncomplicated approaches to combat challenges can achieve significant effectiveness with Raider without needing to master complex ability rotations or resource management systems. Raider's strength-focused approach provides unique advantages against enemies that resist magical damage or possess defenses specifically designed to counter more subtle tactical approaches. His raw physical power often proves effective when finesse-based strategies encounter limitations. This staggering capability of retaliate provides valuable crowd control that can interrupt enemy abilities or create vulnerability windows for other team members to exploit. This disruption capability makes Raider valuable for teams that rely on precise timing and coordination to achieve optimal effectiveness. Raider's equipment scaling focuses primarily on improving his physical damage output and survivability. Better weapons increase the effectiveness of his attacks, while improved armor helps him maintain his secondary tank role when tactical situations require additional defensive presence. The straightforward nature of Raider's abilities means that equipment upgrades provide immediate and easily understood benefits to his effectiveness. Better gear directly translates to improved performance without requiring significant adjustments to tactical approach or ability usage patterns. Raider's ultimate ability creates lasting battlefield modifications that continue to provide benefits throughout encounters. The tombstone remains in place, offering ongoing tactical advantages that justify the resource expenditure required for ultimate ability activation. In the context of Nightreign's 3-day structure, Raider's reliable damage output and environmental modification capabilities prove valuable across all phases of each expedition. During exploration, his strength helps clear obstacles and eliminate threats efficiently. Against commanders and the Night Lord, Raider's ability to deliver concentrated damage while providing tactical advantages through tombstone placement often proves decisive. His immunity to knockdown effects ensures that he can maintain offensive pressure even against enemies that specialize in disrupting their opponents. The Totem Stellar tombstone provides crucial tactical advantages during boss encounters. creating elevation and cover that can determine the success or failure of team tactical approaches. The confirmed synergy with irony demonstrates how ultimate abilities can provide benefits that extend far beyond their immediate damage-dealing functions. Raider represents the principle that direct confrontation with overwhelming force can be successful when approached with sufficient strength and determination. His effectiveness demonstrates that sometimes the most complicated tactical problems require straightforward solutions applied with overwhelming power. The environmental modification capability of his ultimate ability shows that individual actions can create lasting changes that benefit the entire team. Raider's tombstone summoning proves that true strength often lies in creating opportunities for others' success rather than pursuing purely personal achievement. Through Raider, we see that physical power and unwavering determination provide reliable approaches to confronting cosmic-level threats. His continued effectiveness across varied encounter types demonstrates that direct action and raw strength remain valuable regardless of the supernatural nature of the opposition faced. The Executor, the cursed swordsman. Executor represents the precision parry specialist among the 8 Nightfarers, wielding a cursed katana and focusing on deflection-based combat mechanics that emphasize perfect timing and counterattack opportunities. This condemned warrior demonstrates that mastery of blade techniques can provide unique advantages when facing the overwhelming forces that threaten Limveld. Executor's combat approach draws inspiration from precise deflection mechanics, creating a high-skill, high-reward playstyle that requires players to master timing and enemy attack patterns to achieve maximum effectiveness. This demanding combat style rewards patient observation and precise execution over aggressive rushing or defensive passivity. Executor begins each expedition equipped with a katana that appears to possess supernatural properties. The blade features golden veins that glow more intensely with each successful parry, suggesting that the weapon grows stronger through skillful deflection of enemy attacks. This visual feedback system helps players understand when they are executing optimal timing, while providing aesthetic reward for mastering the challenging mechanics. The cursed nature of Executor's blade implies that its power comes with significant risks or costs that must be carefully managed. This risk-reward balance creates tension in combat encounters where players must decide when to rely on the weapon's enhanced capabilities versus when more conservative approaches might be advisable. The katana's supernatural characteristics suggest that Executor's effectiveness scales not just with player skill, but with the weapon's own mystical properties that respond to combat performance. This creates a unique progression system where mechanical mastery directly influences equipment effectiveness. Executor's signature ability, Cursed Blade Draw, allows him to unsheath his forbidden katana and use it to parry enemy attacks with precise timing. This ability embodies the core of Executor's combat philosophy, transforming defensive actions into opportunities for devastating counterattacks. The parrying mechanics associated with Cursed Blade Draw require players to time their defensive actions precisely with incoming enemy attacks. Successful parries not only negate damage, but create vulnerability windows where Executor can deliver powerful counterstrikes that exceed the damage potential of conventional attacks. The forbidden nature of the katana suggests that Cursed Blade Draw accesses power that comes with inherent dangers or limitations. Players must likely manage these risks carefully to maintain effectiveness without succumbing to whatever curse affects the weapon. The unsheathing aspect of the ability implies that Executor normally keeps his most powerful weapon secured, drawing it only for specific combat situations that require its enhanced capabilities. This selective usage creates tactical decisions about when to commit to the weapon's power versus maintaining more flexible combat options. The timing critical nature of Curse Blade Draw makes Executor one of the most challenging Nightfarers to master effectively. Players must develop deep understanding of enemy attack patterns, timing windows, and the precise moment when parry activation will achieve optimal results. Executor's ultimate ability involves a dramatic transformation where he takes on bestial characteristics, accessing the aspects of the Crucible Beast incantation during this altered state. This transformation represents a fundamental change in combat capabilities that provides access to entirely different tactical approaches. The Beast transformation suggests that Executor can temporarily abandon his precise, technical combat style in favor of more primal and aggressive approaches when situations require overwhelming force rather than precise technique. This flexibility allows him to adapt to different encounter types and tactical requirements. The connection to aspects of the Crucible Beast indicates that Executor's transformation draws upon primordial magical forces that predate many of the more refined magical traditions found elsewhere in the lands between. This ancient power source suggests capabilities that operate according to different principles than conventional magic or martial techniques. The temporary nature of the Beast transformation, available only during ultimate ability activation, ensures that this powerful alternative combat mode must be used strategically rather than representing a permanent change to Executor's capabilities. Players must choose optimal moments for transformation to achieve maximum tactical benefit. The dramatic visual and mechanical contrast between Executor's precise katana techniques and his bestial transformation creates a unique dual nature character that can adapt to vastly different combat situations through completely different approaches. Within team compositions, Executor serves as a specialized damage dealer who excels against enemies with predictable attack patterns that can be consistently parried and countered. His deflection-based approach makes him particularly effective against powerful individual enemies whose attacks can be anticipated and turned against them. Executor's parrying capabilities provide unique defensive benefits that complement rather than compete with Guardian's protective abilities. While Guardian absorbs attacks that cannot be avoided, Executor can neutralize specific attacks through precise timing, creating a layered defensive approach that covers different types of threats. The counterattack focus of Executor's abilities means that his damage output scales with enemy aggression. The more attacks enemies direct toward him, the more opportunities he has to demonstrate his deflection mastery and deliver devastating responses. This scaling makes him particularly effective against aggressive enemies that provide frequent parrying opportunities. Executor's Beast transformation provides tactical flexibility for encounters that require different approaches than his primary deflection mechanics can address. When facing enemies whose attacks cannot be effectively parried, or when overwhelming force is required, the transformation offers alternative capabilities. The high skill requirement for optimal Executor play means that teams with skilled Executor players gain significant advantages, while teams where Executor struggles may find his contribution limited. This performance scaling makes Executor particularly rewarding for dedicated players who invest time in mastering his mechanics. Executor's katana focus makes him effective against enemies that might resist other damage types or possess defenses specifically designed to counter magical or conventional physical attacks. The cursed nature of his weapon suggests capabilities that operate according to different principles than standard armaments. The precision timing required for cursed blade draw creates opportunities for spectacular defensive displays, where Executor can neutralize seemingly overwhelming enemy assaults through perfect technique. These defensive victories often prove as valuable as offensive achievements in determining encounter outcomes. Executor's equipment scaling likely focuses on improving katana effectiveness and enhancing the capabilities available during beast transformation. Better katanas would improve his deflection capabilities and counterattack damage, while accessories that enhance transformation abilities would expand his ultimate's effectiveness. The cursed nature of his primary weapon suggests that equipment progression might involve managing or mitigating negative effects, rather than simply improving positive capabilities. This risk management aspect adds complexity to equipment decisions beyond simple damage optimization. Executor's dual combat modes require players to understand optimal applications for both precise deflection techniques and bestial transformation approaches. Mastering both aspects of his capabilities allows for tactical flexibility that can adapt to whatever challenges each expedition presents. In the context of Nightreign's 3-day structure, Executor's specialized capabilities prove valuable against the varied threats encountered throughout each expedition. His deflection mastery helps neutralize dangerous individual attacks, while his beast transformation provides options for encounters that require more aggressive approaches. Against commanders and the Night Lord, Executor's ability to turn enemy attacks into counterattack opportunities often proves decisive in encounters where conventional defensive approaches might be overwhelmed. His parrying capabilities can neutralize attacks that would devastate other team members. The beast transformation becomes particularly important during encounters where Executor's primary deflection approach proves insufficient or inappropriate for the tactical requirements. The transformation ensures that he can contribute meaningfully even when optimal parrying opportunities are not available. Executor represents the principle that mastery of technique can overcome seemingly insurmountable odds through precision and perfect timing. His deflection-based approach demonstrates that defensive excellence can be transformed into offensive advantage through skillful execution. The cursed nature of his weapon suggests that power often comes with costs that must be carefully managed, but that these costs can be worthwhile when the alternative is defeat against overwhelming opposition. Executor's willingness to embrace cursed power shows that heroism sometimes requires accepting dangerous tools when facing existential threats. The beast transformation capability proves that even the most refined and technical approaches to combat sometimes require the flexibility to embrace more primal methods when circumstances demand adaptation. Executor's dual nature demonstrates that true mastery involves understanding when different approaches are appropriate. Through Executor, we see that individual skill and perfect technique can provide advantages that exceed raw power or supernatural abilities when properly applied. His continued effectiveness across varied encounter types demonstrates that precision and timing remain valuable regardless of the cosmic scale of the threats faced. Revenant, the Spirit Summoner. Revenant represents the summoning specialist among the 8 Nightfarers, focusing on spirit ash mechanics and the ability to call upon supernatural allies to aid in combat. As the dedicated summoner of the group, Revenant provides unique tactical capabilities that complement direct combat approaches through the deployment of spiritual entities that fight alongside the team. Revenant's approach to combat centers on indirect engagement through summoned allies rather than personal participation in direct confrontation. This summoning philosophy requires careful positioning and resource management to maintain optimal effectiveness, while ensuring that spiritual allies receive proper tactical support. Revenant has been confirmed to wield a harp as her primary weapon, suggesting that her summoning abilities are activated through musical performance rather than conventional spellcasting methods. This musical approach to supernatural powers creates a unique aesthetic and mechanical identity that distinguishes her from other magically inclined Nightfarers. The harp serves both as a weapon and as the focal tool for Revenant's summoning capabilities. The musical nature of her abilities implies that rhythm, timing, and harmonic combinations play crucial roles in determining the effectiveness of her spiritual allies and the types of entities she can call upon for assistance. Revenant's combat effectiveness depends largely on her ability to maintain her summoned allies and coordinate their actions with her teammates' efforts. This coordination requirement makes her particularly dependent on team communication and tactical planning to achieve optimal results. Revenant's confirmed capability includes summoning massive skeletons that serve as powerful combat allies. These skeletal summons appear to be significantly larger and more powerful than typical spirit ash creatures, suggesting that Revenant's summoning abilities access particularly potent spiritual entities. The massive nature of these skeletal allies indicates that they serve as significant battlefield presences capable of engaging powerful enemies directly. These summons likely possess substantial health pools and damage output that allow them to contribute meaningfully to encounters with cosmic-level threats. The skeletal appearance of these allies suggests that Revenant's summoning draws upon the spirits of the dead rather than elemental forces or other supernatural entities. This necromantic approach implies that her abilities operate through communication with and command of deceased beings who retain combat capabilities in spiritual form. The size and apparent power of Revenant's skeletal allies indicate that maintaining them likely requires significant resource expenditure or careful management of summoning capabilities. Players must probably make strategic decisions about when to deploy these powerful allies versus conserving resources for crucial encounters. Revenant is described as the character among the 8 Nightfarers who specializes in spirit ash utilization, indicating that her approach to supernatural allies follows the established spirit ash system, while potentially expanding or enhancing its capabilities beyond what other characters can achieve. The spirit ash specialization suggests that Revenant can access summons that other Nightfarers cannot, or that she can deploy spiritual allies more effectively through enhanced summoning capabilities. This specialization makes her valuable for teams that want to incorporate supernatural allies into their tactical approaches. Revenant's connection to spirit ash mechanics indicates that her summoning abilities operate according to established magical principles within the Elden Ring universe, ensuring that her capabilities remain consistent with the broader magical framework while providing unique advantages. The specialization in spirit ash utilization suggests that Revenant's effectiveness scales with the availability and quality of spirit ash materials found throughout Limveld. Better summoning components would presumably allow her to call upon more powerful allies or maintain them for longer periods. Revenant has been confirmed to fight using the Halo Scythe, a weapon that also appeared in the original Elden Ring. This weapon choice suggests that Revenant possesses direct combat capabilities beyond her summoning abilities, though her primary focus remains on spiritual allies rather than personal martial prowess. The Halo Scythe provides Revenant with reach and cutting power that complement her summoning abilities, allowing her to contribute to direct combat when her spiritual allies require support or when summoning capabilities are unavailable or inappropriate for specific situations. The scythe's presence in Revenant's equipment loadout indicates that she maintains hybrid capabilities that combine summoning specialization with competent direct combat performance. This versatility ensures that she remains effective even when optimal summoning conditions are not available. The weapon's origins in the original Elden Ring suggest that Revenant's equipment represents continuity with established magical traditions and weapon crafting techniques, ensuring that her gear operates according to familiar principles while serving her unique tactical role. Within team compositions, Revenant serves as both a force multiplier through her summoned allies and a tactical coordinator who manages multiple battlefield entities simultaneously. Her spiritual allies effectively increase the team's numerical advantage while providing additional tactical options for complex encounters. Revenant's summoning capabilities create unique tactical opportunities that other Nightfarers cannot replicate. Her spiritual allies can engage enemies from different angles, provide distraction during critical moments, or serve as expendable assets for high-risk tactical maneuvers. The indirect nature of Revenant's primary combat contribution makes her particularly effective when paired with direct combat specialists who can protect her while she maintains her summoned allies. Guardian's defensive capabilities would be especially valuable for ensuring Revenant's survival during extended encounters. Revenant's Spirit Ash specialization provides tactical flexibility that allows teams to adapt their approaches based on available summoning resources and encounter requirements. Different spiritual allies likely provide different capabilities suited to various tactical situations. The coordination requirements for optimal Revenant play make her particularly rewarding for teams that communicate effectively and plan their tactical approaches carefully. Her summoned allies can execute complex maneuvers when properly coordinated with her teammates' actions. Revenant's harp-based summoning creates opportunities for musical timing and rhythmic coordination that add aesthetic appeal to her tactical contributions. The performance aspect of her abilities transforms combat encounters into collaborative, artistic expressions. The massive skeletal allies that Revenant can summon provide significant battlefield presence that can alter the fundamental dynamics of encounters. These powerful summons can serve as temporary tanks, damage dealers, or tactical obstacles that create new possibilities for team coordination. Revenant's equipment scaling likely focuses on improving her summoning capabilities through better harps, enhanced Spirit Ash materials, and accessories that increase the effectiveness or duration of her spiritual allies. Her direct combat effectiveness may improve through better sights, but summoning remains her primary focus. The musical nature of her summoning abilities suggests that equipment improvements might include instruments with better tonal qualities, magical enhancements that improve harmonic resonance, or accessories that expand the range of spiritual entities she can contact and command. Revenant's Spirit Ash specialization indicates that her progression system likely involves collecting and mastering different types of spiritual allies rather than simply improving individual summoning capabilities. This collection aspect adds depth to her character development beyond basic statistical improvements. In the context of Nightreign's 3-day structure, Revenant's summoning capabilities prove valuable across all phases of each expedition. During exploration, her spiritual allies can scout ahead, engage threats, and provide additional security for resource-gathering activities. Against commanders and the Night Lord, Revenant's ability to deploy powerful spiritual allies often proves decisive in encounters where numerical disadvantage might otherwise overwhelm the team. Her massive skeletal summons can engage cosmic-level threats directly, while providing tactical opportunities for her teammates. The Spirit Ash specialization becomes particularly important during boss encounters, where additional combat presence can tip the balance between victory and defeat. Revenant's spiritual allies can absorb damage, provide distraction, and deliver supplementary damage that multiplies the team's overall effectiveness. Revenant represents the principle that supernatural allies and spiritual communion can provide advantages that pure individual capability cannot achieve. Her summoning approach demonstrates that calling upon the power of others, whether living or dead, represents a valid and valuable approach to confronting overwhelming opposition. The musical nature of her abilities suggests that harmony, rhythm, and artistic expression can serve as conduits for supernatural power when properly understood and applied. Revenant's harp-based summoning proves that beauty and effectiveness can be unified in service of tactical advantage. The massive scale of her skeletal allies shows that spiritual entities can possess power that rivals or exceeds purely physical capabilities when properly summoned and commanded. Revenant's communion with the dead demonstrates that death itself need not represent the end of usefulness or contribution to important causes. Through Revenant, we see that individual effectiveness can be multiplied through the ability to coordinate and command supernatural allies. Harmonize. Continued success across varied encounter types demonstrates that summoning and spiritual communion remain valuable approaches regardless of the cosmic scale of the threats faced. And so we reach the end of our detailed exploration of the 8 Nightfarers who stand against the eternal night. We have journeyed through the unique capabilities, confirmed abilities, and tactical roles of each champion chosen to oppose the Night Lord's cosmic threat. From Wylder's balanced adaptability and reliable claw-shot mobility to Guardian's defensive mastery and life-saving wings of salvation. From Duchess's evasive artistry and team-protecting finale invisibility to Recluse's complex elemental magic and resource-sustaining soul-blood song. From Ironi's precision archery and crucial ranged revival capabilities to Raider's devastating strength and battlefield-altering tombstone summoning. From Executor's cursed blade mastery and beast transformation power to Revenant's spiritual allies and massive skeletal summons. Each of these 8 champions brings confirmed abilities that serve not just their individual effectiveness, but the greater mission of cooperative resistance against forces that operate beyond normal mortal comprehension. Their diverse specializations create a comprehensive approach to cosmic-level threats that no single warrior could achieve alone. We have seen how their abilities create confirmed synergies. Irony, using Raider's tombstone as an elevated sniper platform. Recluse's blood sigils providing team-wide resource recovery. Guardian's protective areas enabling aggressive tactics. Duchess's phantom doubling multiplying effective damage output. These combinations prove that the Nightfarer's true strength emerges through cooperation rather than individual achievement. The confirmed lore tells us that these 8 were chosen by a blonde maiden specifically for this mission, to repel the Night's Tide and defeat the Night Lord. They are warriors of the Round Table Hold, who call upon the power of spectral birds, united in purpose, despite their dramatically different approaches to combat and supernatural power. Each possesses unique passive abilities, character skills, and ultimate arts that cannot be shared with the others. Yet, while any Nightfarer can wield any weapon found in Lembold, their individual specializations ensure that cooperation amplifies everyone's effectiveness beyond what scattered individual efforts could accomplish. Their confirmed abilities demonstrate the breadth of approaches necessary when facing threats that can rewrite reality itself. Physical prowess, magical mastery, precision technique, defensive specialization, tactical manipulation, environmental modification, spiritual communion, all prove valuable when properly coordinated toward the shared goal. We have explored how each champion's equipment, stat focus, and ability design reflects their role within the greater mission. From Wylder's balanced reliability to Revenant's summoning complexity, each represents a different answer to the question of how mortal beings can meaningfully oppose cosmic horror. The 3-day hunt structure provides the framework within which these diverse abilities combine to achieve what seems impossible, earning the right to face the Night Lord directly through proven worthiness across escalating challenges. Their confirmed capabilities ensure they can adapt to whatever configurations of threat and opportunity each expedition presents. As we have learned, these are not merely gameplay mechanics, but expressions of deeper truths about cooperation, specialization, and the power that emerges when diverse strengths work in harmony toward purposes greater than individual ambition. The Nightfarers continue their sacred mission, each expedition bringing them closer to the ultimate confrontation, while proving that even cosmic calamities can be opposed by beings who refuse to surrender their essential nature and cooperative bonds. In their confirmed abilities and documented synergies, we find hope that determination, skill, and mutual support can create meaning and effectiveness even when facing forces that seem to transcend all mortal understanding. Each Nightfarer carries forward their unique contribution to this shared struggle: Wylder's adaptable pursuit, Guardian's protective dedication, Duchess's evasive precision, Recluse's elemental mastery, Ironi's supportive accuracy, Raider's unstoppable force, Executor's technical perfection, and Revenant's spiritual communion. Together, they represent humanity's most complete answer to the Night Lord's threat. 8 distinct approaches, unified by common purpose, individual excellence, multiplied through cooperative effort, specialized strength, harmonized into collective hope. Thank you for joining me on this detailed exploration of the 8 Nightfarers and their confirmed abilities. As our journey through their individual stories draws to a close, settle back and enjoy the crackling fireplace and the ambient rain sounds in the distance. Let these gentle sounds carry you toward peaceful rest, perhaps filled with dreams of champions who stand together against impossible odds. Rest well, travelers, and may your dreams be filled with the quiet satisfaction of knowledge shared and mysteries explored in the peaceful darkness of natural sleep. Good night.